Hey, what's good? It's Cadillaktrackz. I'm here. I'm just doing another beat video. It's been a while since I uploaded one for the channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It's been a while since I sat down and made a beat, but I just started the day off just by getting up and I had some new sounds that I added. So the first thing that I did was I went into Omnisphere and I added some new sounds. And anytime you add new sounds into Omnisphere, you want to click right here on this little refresh button. It's going to refresh your browser and all your patches so that your new sounds show up. And that can take a while. So I went ahead and I did that for some new sounds that I had. I also had a new contact sound, these vintage organs. And anytime you add up new sounds inside of contact, you also want to go into the browser over here into files, and you want to go down to the sound or whatever folder it is, and you want to go ahead and you want to have yourself quick load folders that are organized all your sounds. And once you have these quick load folders, you can click right here and you can have quick load enabled, and you can bring in your sounds and organize them into some organized folders so that you're able to find your sounds quickly, because contact can get really out of hand with all the sounds it has. So I went ahead and I did that, and I also had some new drum kit sounds that I had today. You know, a lot of times when I get up, what I'll do is I'll actually go on the internet, and I'll go right here to drum kits. You can see, and sometimes there's drum kits in here that are interesting. Sometimes they're not. So there's always new drum kits here that are available to try out. Sometimes you might want to give them a try if you're making a beat. It's just sometimes they can get real repetitive, and you can just be downloading the same sounds over and over, and it's not necessary. You don't want to get in the habit or think that, oh, you got to have all these, because it just never ends. So I do that a lot of times, and then a lot of times I also go right here to the Native Instruments forum and click in the Maschine area. You can get a lot of questions and conversations about Maschine in here, and a lot of questions that you might be having, they'll be answered right here, or somebody else might have the same problems that you're having, and you can see what everybody's discussing and what the solution is for any problems that you might have. This is how I address a lot of questions and concerns with Maschine, just by seeing what everybody's asking and talking about, and it'll also give you a heads up if there's anything new coming out. So we went ahead and did that, and since we added new drum sounds to my drum kits, those drum kits are linked up inside the Maschine. So what you have to do is you have to click right here into File and go to Preferences. You want to go to your library and click on the user, and you want to go to whatever drum kit it is. For me, it was this Tune Drums. You want to go to whatever folder has your new sounds that you've added, and you want to rescan it so that Maschine is aware of the new sounds that you added, so that it doesn't get left out, and so that you can access those new sounds in Maschine. So I was just going to go ahead and get started on a beat, and I wanted to show y'all. It looks like I've already got started. What I did was I went ahead and I just opened up a patch right here. Bam. I opened up a patch right here inside of Omnisphere. I just went and I found this sound called Bell Sonics, and let me go. And I opened up Chihulu and I found a chord progression by pushing 3 different keys on the piano, 3 different chords that I thought sounded good together, and I went ahead and I put those together, and I made this chord progression right here. So it sounds like this right here. So I thought that was kind of neat, little pad sound. So I went ahead and I did that, and I opened up Contact. You can see Contact right here, and I went to the new organs that I got today, and I found this one right here, the Tone Wheel B3. I like to put my organs on a fast rotary and vibration on, and just stuff like that, kind of mess with it when I do organs. And I got it to sound like this right here as of now. You can see the organ right here. So I might have to freak that out a little bit, and that's what I got so far, just off this simple chord progression. You can see the chord going from Chihulu right into Omnisphere into Contact. Chihulu has lots of chords. It's like Machine's chord mode, but it has more chords. Only thing is that they're spread around the keyboard randomly, but if you just push different keys, you can get yourself a nice chord progression just by doing it by ear. After I did that, I went ahead and I cloned this sound, this omnisphere sound. I went ahead and I cloned it. And a lot of times what I like to do is if I have a chord, I like to have an ARP going through it. And sometimes with the ARP, I like to speed down or slow down the speed of the ARP. I might even put effects on it later. But when you slow down the speed of the ARP to about 1/8 step or 1/4 step, it'll make a little pattern, basically where it's just playing the notes of the chords in an ARP. And I went ahead and I did that right here. And you can hear what it sounds like on the melody. So I might have a breakdown, and then when it breaks down, have this melody come in with the ARP, which sounds like this. So I have those 3 sounds right there so far. So yeah, they're kind of mushing together. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add a few more melodies basically, and just go ahead and make a beat around this chord progression and what I have so far. Alright, so go ahead and pause the video, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna look for a new sound, something different. I usually use the same sound, so I'll probably end up putting a piano or a guitar or some type of synthetic sound. Alright, see what's up. Alright, so I'm sitting here. I just added a piano and a Rhodes, and I could do more with the piano, but I just put a few notes, so it just sounds like this. It just goes, and then it comes and it hits these few notes. And I'm over here watching this crime video. So a lot of times I'll do that with the piano, just kind of like a little sprinkle, or I might hit a chord. This is in the A chord, or the A scale, so it's kind of easy. And then I put Lounge Lizard on there, and I just put, as you can see, just like 3 little chords, kind of strumming. They sound like this right here. And then I put an effect on it, which is this pancake, which is kind of making it wobble left and right like that. So I just put that in the background, and maybe one more sound actually, so you can hear it right here. And I'm gonna put in another sound, so I'm gonna try to find one more instrument. I'm thinking the guitar, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna pause it. Either the guitar or just a real synthetic sound, or like a electric, you know, like something off of Serum or Silent or something like that. Let's see what's up. At this point, I'm going to save it, since I have a lot of instruments open and I haven't done any saving yet. Alright, I just found this sound. It's like an electric sound. I like it. It's from Av McCree. It's kind of weird. I like putting a weird sound in the back, so I'm going to put that right there into it, and then I'm going to move on to the 808. So I'm going to put this on here just every now and then. Alright, so I put this little melody, just it's real simple, and it just kind of follows the part that'll come toward the breakdown. It'll go like this. Just a little electric. And it'll just go up at the end. Try to keep that under control. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make an 808 pattern now. So I'm just going to try to find an 808. And then after I find an 808, I'm going to do some. I have a drum kit called 808 for Days. I have it for sale. It's 1,000 808s. They're actually different. Most of them are all different. I had to run a scan to make sure that they weren't the same, you know. And that is the classic. It sure is the classic D. If you don't know about the classic. Alright, so I'm going to use this one, and I'm just going to try to make a melody. A lot of times with the bass, I'll just make a simple root melody. So I won't even really get real intricate in the bass line, just the bass notes or just the root notes or whatever. So it looks like it's on the G. And I might mess with it a little bit. So I might do something like that. And then bring it down. So I'm gonna see what's up. I might even pick a new bass. Let me pause it real quick. All right, man. I had to switch it up to the spins, the generic. And when I did that, it went back to the A key. So that one was off key. I guess I didn't tune it, but I just switched up to this one, this spins. I'm gonna go ahead and use that. So it sounds like this. So just do it like that. A lot of times I just do it like that, and I'll make the notes long like that. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do something like that. Alright, so you can hear it right now. The bass is real low. It sounds like this. And it's already starting to pop. Like it has a lot of, I guess like since I have two omnispheres, a contact, a nexus, a lounge lizard, and electrics, it's just enough that it really can't handle the buffer at 2 to 3 milliseconds. So you just have to push it up a little bit. Most of y'all are probably, man, a lot of y'all do it at like 50 milliseconds, so y'all don't even come close to that low. But eventually it needs to go up because it gets to a point where you're not really using the keyboard that much anymore because you've already laid down your melodies or whatever. So you need to turn the play here to 6 milliseconds, and you can hear the bass line. It's straight. It's cool, but I want to move it up a little bit. So I basically need to transpose all of my melodies. I want to move them up a key. So whatever key they're on, I want to move everything up. And I used to not do that. I used to not move my melodies up a key or not. I used to even bounce stuff to wave. And once you bounce it to wave, it's even harder to move it up. Just have to remember how to do that by tuning it. So I'm gonna move all these melodies up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna record this onto here. That's what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna and when I do that, I use this internal MIDI port. So I have an internal MIDI port. You just need to select what you're trying to record, which is this right here, and push stop and then push record. And it's gonna record the 2 active tracks. It's gonna record it through an internal MIDI port. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. Yep, make sure you gotta turn it off when you're done with it. And you can see what I mean. It recorded the notes right here. inside of a MIDI port. Alright, so it just recorded notes from Chihulu to an instrument. Remember, it does that inside the MIDI port. So I'm gonna turn off Chihulu now. We don't need it. I could delete it, but I'm gonna keep it there just in case I want to see for reference. Alright, so now we have all our melodies here. We're gonna transport everything up, and I'll go ahead and do that real quick. I'll show you what I mean. Like this piano roll, this sound right here. I'll go ahead and solo it, and you can hear it. We're gonna move it up, so we're gonna select it and we're gonna move it up a few keys. So I like that, and we just moved it up 2 keys. So instead of being on, instead of starting on A or instead of starting down here on F, it's starting now on G. And since I moved that up 2, we're gonna move up everything too. So we've basically taken all our melodies and we've transposed it up 2 keys. And that only takes a second, man. Just go through each sound, select it, and move it up. And there's really only one reason why we do that. It changes the sound a little bit, but it's all about the bass line. This bass line was cool, but it was kind of low. Sometimes if a bass note is too low or whatever, it might muffle and be like, it might sound muddy. It'll sound better if you move it up. So that's what we're doing, moving the bass line up to give it more clarity. So that's cool. And from here, I'm gonna go ahead and we're going to start on the drums. I used to bring drums in from the side over here in Fruity Loops, but since I've become more organized, I can actually do it inside a Maschine. So we'll go ahead and switch Maschine on, and I guess I'll just keep the video running while I make the drum kit. I like to kind of show y'all how I do that. And I guess I could open up the browser so y'all can see what's going on. I need to leave this table. I done made a little bit of money and I don't want to lose it. Alright, so let me just turn my Maschine on. Man, I really need to like mix these melodies and all, but I just like to keep going. Alright, so what I'll do is what I've been doing lately, I'll just click on the pad, I'll open up the browser, and I'll go over here to a drum kit that I have already. I'm gonna go to kicks. I got a kick I like to use lately. Damn. Actually, I don't know where my kick is now. The kick I be using. I could have sworn it was right there, but maybe it's right here. Yeah, it is right here. So I'm just gonna load up that kick. I really only need 1 kick, so I'm gonna cancel these 2 sounds out. I keep my first 4 pads for kicks. Then I'm gonna go over here to pad 4, and we're gonna add up some snares. Let me one thing I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna find out what key this melody is in. If I look at it, it could be in a G, because the last note right here is on G. But just because the last note's on G doesn't mean it's in a G scale, you know what I mean? But it could be. But an easy way to do it is just to open up Scalar. Damn. And then copy these notes to Scalar and hell, push start and play it. Alright, so man, these guys are making me pay for this. Alright, so I put it in scalar. You can see it says G Lydian. I'm not even really familiar with Lydian, but so we're gonna check it out today. And or I can do B minor. So we'll have to just keep that in mind. Okay, trip queens, I can do that. And a flush. Yay, I just won $1.92. Could have made it more, but alright, so it's in G Lydian or whatever, so it's in G or B. So I'm gonna make my drum sounds. I'm just gonna load up sounds that are tuned to the key of G or B. It doesn't really matter that you do this at all, but I might as well, since I have so many organized. And I'll just go through my sounds like this, man, and just listen to them. Alright, so I'm gonna turn this mic off. there and I named it. I also went through those sounds and I normalized the ones that aren't coming to zero. It's not necessary, just something I do. And by normalizing it, it just makes the sounds come up to zero. And it's important you save the kit before you do that. Otherwise, it'll make duplicates of these sounds wherever they are on your computer. You don't want that. You don't want to browse through Maschine and be going through duplicates. Alright, so we got that set up, and basically at this point we'll just go ahead and lay down the drums, and I'm going to close this browser. There's no point, I mean really you can do it either way, man. So you can do it on Maschine or you can do it on Fruity Loops. That's what I try to tell everyone, but they feel like it's confusion. But we could lay it down right here into the step sequencer, or we can do that on Maschine. I like to do it on Maschine because it's so neat, but it doesn't matter, bro. And I used to try to wonder which one is better or which one can I get better with, but it's like the same, man. I'm pretty good right here. Like you can make something sick right here, or you can do it inside a Maschine where you got the note repeat function. It's kind of easy, and I like to do that because I like to use my Maschine a little bit, so I can actually, you know, drum it out on the pad. So that's what I'll do. Go ahead and turn the mic off and pause the video while I lay down some drums. This video inside of Premiere is gonna take forever, but this is part 2. Since I messed up and stopped the video, I had to keep going. So we're still here on the drums, and let's just put some little melodies on the pads right here. We got this so far, so I'm trying to add maybe just a little more to it, and then go ahead and track out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna double this pattern, and then I'm gonna go to variation and move the zoom so I can see the zoom. Let me one thing I didn't do that I always do is I color my sounds because they're all green right now and it's kind of confusing. So I'll just organize them into different things. And let me save that like that. Put this in there too. Actually, if I'm gonna do that, I'm sorry, let me turn this microphone off while I do the drums so that it's not crazy, and let me mess with this. and it's pretty cool. It's nothing intricate, nothing too crazy. So I'm actually gonna move the drums over here to Fruity Loops real quick. The way I do that, I showed y'all, is I actually like to I'd like to bring my channel rack over here to the side. My screen's not that big, so I'll do it like this, and then I'll bring Maschine over here, and I'll drag the sounds to the different slots where I need them. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you do it like this, where you come through and you click on the piano roll. That way it'll drag whatever note is in the piano roll over. So once we have that selected, I'll go over here and I'll just start dragging everything across. So this is my kick, so I'm going to drag it over here to where it says kick. I messed that up, but let's try that again. Just get the kick and drag it over to where it says kick. Then I'll just go down, just down the list. That's my first snare. This is my second snare, or my fourth snare. And then I'll go to my hi-hat. That's one of my hi-hats right there. And you can actually just push down on your keyboard and it'll go down to the next sound. So that's hi-hat 2. This is hi-hat 3. This is open hi-hat. Then I got a crash. To the crash. This is our first perk sound. I don't know what is messing up right here. This is my perk sound. This is my second perk sound. Looks like it's having, my mouse is having trouble holding down. And then this is my third perk sound, or I don't have a third perk sound yet. So, alright, so I went ahead and I just transferred all my sounds. So when you do that, what you want to do is you want to go to Maschine and push pattern. And since all these drums are pattern 1, I'll just make a pattern 2. Pattern 2 is empty, so now the drums aren't playing from Maschine anymore. They're playing from Fruity Loops. So I gotta put Maschine away for a sec. You can see now the drums are here on Fruity Loops. And once the drums are on Fruity Loops like this, you can basically kind of get into the mixing part. Or the arrangement. I could do the arrangement before I do the mix. If you really had the mix already done, but shit. So what I'll do is I'll actually go ahead and I'll rename these sounds. Yeah. Alright, so we got the sounds right there. Just make sure everything, these two sounds are taking up the same slot. So I'm putting everything on its own mixer channel right here. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, or whatever. 22. With everything on its own channel, I can just select everything like that. 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. Open up the mixer and right click right here on 17. Actually just go to route selected starting from this channel. Only takes a second and it routes everything. All right. Split by channel. Everything is split by channel. It's right here in the drum thing, so I can really just select all of them like that and bring it over. I fucked that up. Yeah, I fucked that up. But yeah, you get the picture. How did I mess that up? So you just select them all. Yeah, I messed that up. So you just pick the ones you want, hold shift, and then drag them over here and let go. And from here, I'm just gonna go ahead and sequence it out real quick. And We didn't need this one. All right. And sometimes I'll make these all the same length. Sometimes. What the hell's going on right here? And I'll make this long. That's a minute 30. That's good enough. And then we'll just go ahead and start taking stuff out. We don't need scalar. And now that it's on song mode, I guess I can go ahead and turn everything on. Besides Shahulu. All right, so I have a little melody right now, and sorry, I went ahead and not sequenced out a little something. I didn't even do nothing really. Yeah, and then I'll have it break down right here, and at this point I might actually just have it repeat itself and put some variation in the second part. Matter of fact, this is all messed up. Try to get me some money off of this guy. All right, so I might repeat from here. I'll just hold down shift, and I'll do something like that. I might put some variations in it later. When it comes here, I might actually end the beat right here at 4 minutes 38 seconds. So I'll just do like that, and then everything's pretty much ready to be mixed at this point. Automation clip right here, and put a fade out on it. And that's about it. So at this point I'm gonna go ahead and mix the beat up. It's just loud right now, but I'll go ahead and I'll play it real quick, and I'll just play it what it sounds like, real loud and raw and everything. Like I said, we might need to put some more drops and breaks. Put my beat tag on there real quick and mix the beat. You know, you can hear right now it's just loud and real loud, and all the sounds are just clashing. But that's how I like to dig in real quick, because if I don't worry about those things, I can kind of focus on putting some little melodies together or getting a little melody or whatever. And then also the mix is so important that you want to make sure you get it right. So being able to focus completely on it without having to worry about any production stuff may or may not help me to achieve that result. It just helps me to focus on it basically independently. So now that we have everything set up like this, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. I just wanted to show y'all a little beat making video. I haven't made a beat in a while, and it's been a while, man. I just spent an hour. I just spent 2 hours on this, and it's gonna take me about 2 hours to render this video, since I gotta put part 1 and part 2 together. But we're still using my template. The template that I have, it has all these features to where I'm able to sequence the drums out on Maschine. You can do the same thing right here on yours. It takes a long time to set up, but you can set up all these MIDI outs and link them. But the template, the main features of the template is being able to do the play, stop, record, and change the tempo, and also all these buttons like metronome, this right here, overdub recording. I can change the snap. I can do all these little features up here. I can open up the playlist, piano roll, channel rack, and all these features right here. I can do that with the Maschine, and I can also browse through all my samples over here with the Maschine knobs, and I can bring different features in. And it's got a lot of different other stuff. I can switch between pattern and song mode. So all these features up here that we use for making the beat, we can control them on Maschine, and to use them, all we have to do is just hold shift and push MIDI, and it switches over to my template. So at any time I could just switch over to my template, and once the template's open like it is now, I can just start pushing stuff like playlist and rack and piano roll and mixer, and it'll open up everything like that. And it has a lot more features, but we're not going to go into that. But at the end of the day, you can really just use Fruity Loops and Maschine together. It's good to sequence your beat on Fruity Loops like this. And it's good to use Maschine because Machine's such a good drum processor. And again, you can use Maschine to go ahead and actually play your melodies too. But the way we did it is we just had pattern 1, remember, with the drums. And once the drums were set, we just dragged them over here to Fruity Loops. From there, we were able to sequence it out on the Fruity Loops playlist, but still have it coming from Maschine with all of its envelope settings, and any type of effects I want to put on from Maschine, we can put on right there. So it's always a good thing like that. And the sounds, we're not rendering any audio or anything. Everything is just being routed into different channels so that it shows up in the mixer. So that way when I push export, it's just going to export all these tracks, and we didn't have to render or bounce audio from one DAW to another. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video, man. That's the little beat I made, little, how do you say, like a little happy beat. And I'm just going to end it like that and come through. The key part of this would be the mix, since it's really not that complex or whatever. It really needs a good mix, you know. The low end needs to sit right, and the kick needs to hit hard, and the melodies just need to be able to blend in and not be overpowering, and then the hi-hat and just everything just needs to sit right, and it'll be actually a pretty good track, especially if you put some lyrics behind it. But at the end of the day, the most important thing with this one is just going to be the mix is sitting right. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video, man. Appreciate y'all for being here on my channel. And y'all enjoy y'all day. I'm going to make more of these videos because I haven't been cooking up like I need to. And also, I want to make sure that y'all are still on y'all's music and that y'all are still knowing how to use the template right. So we'll make some more of these. Until next time, Cadillaktrackz 1.